My sister-in-law immediately eyed the 80,000 yuan I received as a betrothal gift. If you give us 80,000 yuan now, Hailey can get on to the Spring Festival Gala. You absolutely must help your niece. I was speechless, staring at my sister-in-law. What did she think the Spring Festival Gala was? A village stage? In my previous life, I used that 80,000 yuan to pay for my niece, Hailey's, university tuition so she could become successful. But Hailey had no ambition. She made mistakes at work and was fired. My sister-in-law then told her, "It's all because your aunt didn't want you to live a good life. If you had gone to the Spring Festival Gala that year, you would have been a star by now." Day after day, my sister-in-law brainwashed Hailey, who hated me to the bone. One year, when I returned to our hometown for Lunar New Year, she beat me unconscious. That night, she buried me alive. The next time I opened my eyes, I was back to the day my sister-in-law demanded money from me. "Jane, you just happen to have money in hand. For the sake of our Wang family's only child, you can't refuse this time." My sister-in-law, with a face full of enthusiasm, grasped my hand and patted the back of it. I suppressed the nausea rising in my stomach and flattered her. Parents spend their whole lives worrying about their children. Sister-in-law, I think your thoughtfulness is wonderful. Hearing this, her eyes sparkled. However, money doesn't fall from the sky. If you want to use this sum, it's best to write a promissory note. My sister-in-law hesitated, glancing at my brother. Seeing this, I continued. Of course, if Hailey truly achieves great success, will 80,000 yuan really be that difficult to repay? My sister-in-law gritted her teeth and gave me a firm pat. All right, your brother will sign it for you. I wasn't bothered by her calculations. I simply pulled out a pen and paper from my bag. I'll grant your wish this time. Let's see how far you can go. That evening, as I was getting ready for bed, my brother knocked on my door. Hailey has 6 months until her college entrance exams. I want you to take her in and help her with this final sprint. I looked at my brother, and memories of the past flooded back. In my previous life, I took my high school niece home, not only providing her food and lodging, but even paying for her graduation trip. I tutored her with all my might, staying up night after night to plan her school choices. I received no thanks from my brother or sister-in-law. Instead, they claimed Hailey was naturally smart. If I hadn't carefully analyzed the exam questions and matched schools to Hailey's level, how could she have gotten into a top university? It truly was a case of doing good deeds only to be met with resentment. When there were problems, they blamed me. When there was success, it had nothing to do with me. In this life, I was determined not to get involved in their muddy waters again. Didn't sister-in-law say she'd take Hailey to the Spring Festival Gala next month? My brother waved a dismissive hand. Oh, that won't affect anything. It's fine for her to go. Once they're done performing, she can come live with you. I nearly choked in shock, quickly waving my hands to refuse. Don't decide so soon. If Hailey becomes famous at the gala, it's highly likely she'll pursue an artistic career. You know, I'm just an ordinary teacher. I can't teach her the things she'd need. My brother scratched his head and thought for a moment. That makes sense. We can't let this 80,000 yuan go to waste. The night before they were supposed to leave for the Spring Festival Gala, my brother and sister-in-law frantically pounded on my bedroom door. "Jane, stop sleeping, wake up quickly. Something big has happened to Hailey." Of course, I knew something big had happened, but I had no intention of getting involved. Ever since my sister-in-law became obsessed with getting Hailey onto the gala, she had started doing all sorts of bizarre things. One morning, I woke up to her carrying a large bag of broad bean powder, muttering, "Green food, fast weight loss, no harm to health." I watched my sister-in-law, who was on the verge of madness, rolling my eyes. "If you don't make it to the gala, your dream of stardom will be shattered. Let's see who you'll blame this time." Seeing that I still didn't open the door, they impatiently stomped their feet outside. "Jane, didn't you hear the loud knock?" I put on my coat and yanked open the bedroom door. "What's the big deal? Can't you sleep in the middle of the night?" My sister-in-law looked at me as if I were a savior, her knees buckling, about to kneel before me. "You have to help Hailey. She's supposed to leave for rehearsals tomorrow, but now Hailey has started vomiting blood." I feigned surprise, looking at them. "She's not sick, is she? I can't handle a situation like this. Maybe you should try contacting them to see if you can get a refund. Using that money to treat Hailey's illness is what's important. I can't help. All my money is with you. I have nothing left." My sister-in-law's eyes darted away. "How can we get a refund at a time like this?" I feigned difficulty. "She's already vomiting blood. Where will we get so much money?" My brother was so enraged he clutched his chest, cursing my sister-in-law furiously. "This was your terrible idea. It's all because you wanted Hailey to lose weight. You kept making her eat that broad bean powder. You swore to me you'd raise her to be a big star. Now it's over, everything is over." My brother angrily slapped my sister-in-law, sending her reeling and crying hysterically. My sister-in-law knelt, assuring my brother she would resolve the situation, and only then did he spare her. My niece was vomiting blood and clearly couldn't go to the Spring Festival Gala anymore. Since she truly couldn't go, my sister-in-law immediately thought of another plan. She took Hailey, who occasionally vomited blood, to a restaurant and forced her to eat all the dishes. For a month, Hailey had only consumed thin broth and broad bean powder, which had damaged her stomach. Suddenly eating a lot of meat and fish, she vomited it all out. My sister-in-law screamed loudly, not forgetting to raise her phone and record a video. "My daughter ate their food and got food poisoning. Help!" Since it was dinner time, her screams immediately attracted dozens of people. The restaurant owner promptly took Hailey to the hospital and covered all expenses. When they returned to check, they discovered that Hailey had eaten all the food on the plate. Now, the restaurant owners couldn't clear their name even if they jumped into the Yellow River. Hailey remained in a coma for 3 days, finally waking up in the hospital. Her first words upon regaining consciousness were to my sister-in-law, "Mom, I ate it all. You're not angry, are you?" I looked at this foolish niece and felt utter disgust. She listened to everything my sister-in-law said, even believing her farts smelled sweet. Afterwards, the restaurant owner had no choice but to begrudgingly compensate them 100,000 yuan. My sister-in-law only saw the immediate small gain, unaware that this would be the biggest detonator for future events. Hailey lay motionless in her hospital bed, but my sister-in-law was far from idle. She first registered a social media account, beginning to build Hailey's image, daily creating a persona of diligence and studiousness. She would post over a dozen articles, photos, and videos of Hailey reading in her hospital bed. I looked at Hailey's medical record, which stated suspected overdose of broad bean powder, and chuckled coldly. The wheel of fate had begun to turn. My tragic death in the previous life had taught me, absolutely do not interfere with the karma of others. As soon as Hailey was discharged from the hospital, her social media account had nearly 100,000 followers. My sister-in-law was overjoyed, even naming Hailey's account "Sick Beauty of Senior Year." When she returned home, she gleefully boasted to my brother and me, "I told you, my judgment is excellent. If my daughter follows the path I've laid out, she's sure to become widely famous." In her moment of forgetful triumph, she didn't forget to discuss with my brother about Hailey dropping out of school, declaring that Hailey would pursue a career as an internet celebrity in the entertainment industry. When she asked for my opinion, I waved my hand. Everyone decides for their own children. Parents shouldn't harm them. Remember to transfer the money to my card in a few days. Cash is fine too. My sister-in-law enthusiastically sat beside me, persuading me to consider the money as an investment in Hailey. Although our Hailey won't need this money, out of respect for you being her aunt, let's keep it for now. Once Hailey succeeds, she'll give you a generous amount every year. I looked at Hailey's beautiful face, then at my sister-in-law's foolish expression. I don't need to bask in my niece's glory, just return the principal to me. Hailey's beauty combined with my sister-in-law's foolishness was a winning hand. Just don't blow yourselves up when the time comes. The higher you climb, the harder you fall, and celebrities are rife with gossip. When my niece collapses, they won't even be able to take care of themselves. I might even get dragged into it. After the previous incident, my sister-in-law managed Hailey even more strictly. Time quickly flew by to the college entrance exam countdown. For these few months, to ensure Hailey got better sleep, my brother rented a house near the school. This time, they came back because the weather was getting warmer and the whole family came to pick up clothes. I looked at Hailey's current appearance, big wavy hair, a super short dress, looking like a girl group member. My brother and sister-in-law were busily stuffing clothes into suitcases, while Hailey held her newly bought iPhone, leaning against the door frame, constantly texting. Neighbors saw them return and came over to greet them. Hailey merely lifted her eyelids to glance at them. When the neighbors praised Hailey for becoming more beautiful over the past few months, my sister-in-law smugly said, "Oh, our Hailey not only studies well but also knows how to make money." After school, she just live streams for a bit and earns several thousand yuan. Hailey has so many fans. Remembering Hailey's barely passing college entrance exam scores in my previous life, I scoffed. If I hadn't taken her in for the last half of senior year and tutored her day and night with her scores, she would never have gotten into a prestigious school. I don't believe she can live stream after 10 p.m. and still have better grades than before. My sister-in-law only sees money and nothing else. Now, Hailey carried a worldly air about her. As soon as my brother finished packing, he looked up at me. "Jane, from now on, will come back every Saturday and Sunday. Then you can tutor Hailey a bit." My sister-in-law enthusiastically rushed over. "Exactly, I've thought it through. With Hailey's current fame, an ordinary university isn't worthy of her. I checked online. It's best if you can help Hailey get into Tsinghua or Peking University. That way, she'll have an even better image." I looked at the shameless couple and felt a shudder. They were blowing everything out of proportion. If she didn't pass the exam, it would be hard for things to end well. In my previous life, to help her get into a good school, I alone bore all my brother and sister-in-law's doubts, taking my niece to my teacher's apartment. We, aunt and niece, slept on bunk beds, ate and lived together, fighting for the college entrance exam. Every day, after teaching my own classes, I came home to tutor my niece. I stayed up all night to create a study plan for her, teaching according to her abilities. All my efforts were poured into her. In those 6 months, a large patch of my hair turned gray. In the end, what did I get? After she got into university, to repay my brother's past care for me, I willingly gave her my 80,000 yuan betrothal gift to spend. Yet, when she hid behind the door intending to kill me, she showed no mercy. "That 80,000 yuan, you were supposed to spend it on me anyway. Why didn't you agree to let me go to the Spring Festival Gala? It's all because you're foolish and ruined my life." Thinking of this, my heart ached beyond measure. I treated her like my own daughter, yet she called me foolish and said I had harmed her. I looked at the 3-person family, filled with disgust, and sneered. "I can help her improve her grades, but you must listen to me. From now until the exams are over, cut off the internet." The moment I finished speaking, my sister-in-law and niece retorted in unison. "No way, my daughter just started making some money and living a little better, and you want to ruin it, don't you? Didn't we pay you back that 80,000 yuan? Here's a card, take it. Stop using your malicious schemes to harm us later." I raised an eyebrow, unexpectedly getting my money back. If you two mother and daughter are so capable, I hope you won't cry when you see the results. Fearing they would come looking for me again, I decisively moved into the school's apartment. As soon as exam results were released, my phone rang incessantly early in the morning. "Jane, I have good news for you. Your niece ranked in the top 50 in the whole province." I suspected I had misheard the phone call early in the morning. I picked it up to see, and it was indeed my brother calling. "What did you say? Hailey ranked in the top 50 in the province? Her scores are hidden now." Shocked, with my hair a mess like a bird's nest, I rushed home from school. On the way, I kept thinking this must be true. Otherwise, how would my brother, who only had an elementary school education, know about hidden college exam scores? This didn't make sense. In my previous life, Hailey's scores were barely above the passing mark. Plus, she's been live streaming and not focusing on her studies. How could she possibly rank in the top 50 in the entire province unless she knew the exam questions beforehand? Could she also have been reborn? I ran breathlessly home. The house was already packed with people, young and old. My sister-in-law saw me and smugly glanced at me. "Oh, our family's fan base is really about to take off. Some people have limited vision. All they see is their own 80,000 yuan. So what if my daughter missed the chance to go to the Spring Festival Gala? Now we're earning money and getting into a prestigious university." To verify my suspicion, I took a deep breath and entered Hailey's exam registration number. I sat stunned on the sofa, staring at the zeros on the screen. I looked up at the dozens of eyes staring at me, trying to suppress my urge to burst into laughter. This wasn't hidden. This was 0 points. My niece hadn't scored anything at all. I looked at my niece, who was playing loud music in her room. She was quite smart. She knew she hadn't passed, so she created a lie first. After all, she was now my sister-in-law's cash cow, and my sister-in-law couldn't do anything to her. My sister-in-law enthusiastically brought me a glass of water. "Jane, I'm too anxious. I can't wait any longer. Tell me, what did Hailey score?" I thought to myself, how would I know? Wait for Hailey to tell you. She then rushed to sit next to me. "Aren't you a grading teacher? You must know what Hailey scored. How grand should we make the party to celebrate Hailey's achievement now?" I glanced at my sister-in-law. "You can do as you please with that. I didn't see her name when I graded." "You can organize whatever grand celebration you deem appropriate." What thick skin! Even if the scores were hidden, the state would hide them. Besides, how could Hailey not have improved after being diligently taught by me for the past 6 months? My sister-in-law nodded in agreement. That's right, my daughter always scores perfectly. My heart is pounding. It must be because of such great happy news. My brother and sister-in-law wanted to hold a banquet for Hailey. I was kept to help. I sat at the main gate, recording the guests entering and leaving. The congratulatory money amounted to hundreds and thousands. Jane, your niece is better than you, isn't she? Top 50 in the whole province. Oh my goodness, is this a star of literature descended to the mortal world? I humbly bowed my head and replied, yes, ma'am. The younger generation surpasses the older. I tilted my head to look at my niece, who was sitting aside playing a game, and sneered. Is vanity so strong now? Or has sister-in-law's constant flattery made her unable to not lie? Top 50 in the province. Let's see how you explain it when school starts. After the banquet ended, my successful students came to my house one after another with commendation banners. Hearing that my niece had ranked in the top 50 in the province, everyone congratulated me. Teacher Jane, you're amazing. Your family is amazing too. Teacher, is Hailey the provincial top scholar? Listening to the students' flattery, my sister-in-law grinned from ear to ear. It's summer break, school is out, and yet I have to live under the same roof as my brother and sister-in-law. My students one by one received their university acceptance letters and shared the good news with me. As the start of the school year approached, Hailey's acceptance letter still hadn't arrived. In addition, relatives continuously asked Hailey when she was starting university. My brother and sister-in-law were as anxious as if on fire, checking Hailey's scores several times a day, always seeing 0. Even my slow-witted brother and sister-in-law realized something was wrong. But I never would have imagined they didn't even suspect their own daughter. Early one morning, my sister-in-law blocked the principal's office. Someone stole my daughter's spot in university. Are you going to do something about this? The principal patiently consoled her, telling her that it was already the end of August, all score inquiries had concluded, and basically all university acceptance letters had been sent out. Some schools that started early were already doing military training. Yet my sister-in-law still didn't understand the principal's words and created a huge fuss, insisting on an explanation. When my daughter checked her scores, it just showed no score, which means it was hidden. Now you're telling me she didn't get in? My sister-in-law threw a tantrum, rolling around and disrupting the school's normal order. The principal sent someone to bring me to persuade her. I shook my head. We too can't handle this. Because the principal kept failing to provide a satisfactory answer, my sister-in-law angrily called the mayor's hotline. The mayor, hearing it was about college entrance exams, arrived at the scene in less than half an hour. The mayor repeatedly assured her he would investigate the matter thoroughly, and only then did my sister-in-law relent. By September, all students had entered university. Hailey was still at home, live-streaming daily. My sister-in-law couldn't sit still anymore. This time, she directly caused a commotion at the mayor's office. It's been 5 days. When will you resolve this for me? My daughter's scores definitely qualify her for Tsinghua or Peking University. The mayor adjusted his gold-rimmed glasses. Hailey's mother, I understand your feelings very well, but your daughter's scores all show 0. We are trying to recheck her papers. Please wait a few more days for the results. My sister-in-law dragged me in front of the mayor. This is my daughter's teacher. Ask her what my daughter's scores are. I was so scared my hands were nearly shaking apart. I hadn't expected her to trick me into coming here just to go crazy like this. The mayor, not knowing, might think I instigated her to come to him. I am a teacher at her school, but I am not her teacher. I am just a driver. My sister-in-law turned to look at me, full of anger. You really are useless. I don't care. I know my daughter's scores. Even if you investigate, she will still get into Tsinghua or Peking University. But you cannot let your slow pace affect my daughter's enrollment. Call Tsinghua or Peking University now and arrange for my daughter to enroll normally first. I had always thought my sister-in-law was foolish, but I never expected her to be insane. Even if she were the mayor's daughter, Tsinghua or Peking University aren't places she could get into with a single phone call. Heaven first makes mad those it wants to destroy. I looked at my sister-in-law's frenzied state, and I knew they were finished. I followed this madwoman in putting on a big show in front of the mayor. I don't even know how I got home. As it happened, I was a homeroom teacher for a graduating class, and the principal had agreed to let me rest for a while longer. Seizing the opportunity before the storm hit, I directly applied for leave to escape. Whatever your reasons, don't drag me into this anymore. In my previous life, I had planned to use that 80,000 yuan for my honeymoon with my fiancé after our marriage. Unfortunately, my niece needed money for university, so I had to take it out to help her. If I had been reborn once, I would definitely complete the travel plans I had made in my previous life. In this life, let alone my niece not getting into university, even if she did, I wouldn't care about her anymore. The person I owed a debt of gratitude to was her father, not her. I thought that after being away for so long, nothing would happen to involve me, but then I received a phone call. "Jane, come back quickly. Hailey has hurt herself badly. You're a teacher, you know a lot. Come back and take charge of the situation." Before I could hang up, my sister-in-law began spilling everything like beans. This month, while I was away, my sister-in-law saw no hope for Hailey's studies. Seizing the opportunity while Hailey was still young, she hastily signed a contract with a management company. During her time as a streamer, Hailey had intimate conversations with several wealthy patrons and agreed to be their girlfriend. Eventually, the truth was exposed during a live stream, and the patrons immediately backed out. Netizens of Yonghao City quickly exposed Hailey online. Other netizens even dug up that Hailey had an abortion at the obstetrics department when she first became famous online. Scandal after scandal was uncovered. My sister-in-law was caught off guard, and misfortunes came in pairs. The management company immediately refused to continue, directly sending a lawyer's letter to their home demanding contract termination and a large compensation for breach of contract. Hearing this, I realized that seeking me out certainly meant no good. I quickly hung up and sent my brother a voice message, telling him I was about to board a plane. The truth proved that I had still underestimated their level of shamelessness. My sister-in-law sent me over a dozen voice messages. I clearly understood her meaning. She wanted me to take the blame for Hailey. I seriously suspected that my sister-in-law had drunk all the nuclear wastewater in the world. Otherwise, why would she have a tumor on her shoulder? Was her daughter's reputation important, but mine not? Moreover, I was about to get married. If this burden were placed on my head, not only would my career be ruined, but my love life would also be shattered. Seeing that I hadn't responded for too long, my sister-in-law directly sent a video. In the video, my brother was kneeling, crying miserably. "Jane, you'll have a husband's family anyway. Explain the situation to your brother-in-law. I don't believe he would stand by and watch us perish. I raised you for so many years and sent you to school. Now I only have this small request. It's not asking for your life. Just consider it repaying a debt of gratitude." After watching this video, I clenched my fists. My parents died young that year, and my brother scavenged to put me through school. Later, I helped my niece wholeheartedly, also because my brother had helped me that year. Who knew the temptation of money could overcome blood ties? Seeing my brother kneeling in the video, I directly blocked and deleted his number. From now on, I would transfer 600 yuan to my brother's card every month for living expenses. This was the amount he gave me every month when I was in college. I had been reborn once. I had to repay my debt and also seek revenge. I had originally planned to return, but this incident forced me to postpone. I intended to wait until I was in a better mood before returning to work. But I never expected that before I could return, a major incident would occur. When the principal called me, I was soaking in a hot spring. Hearing him say that the school's official website had crashed and was filled with water army, slandering me, I was so shocked that my phone nearly fell into the water. On the other end of the line, the principal was so furious his beard trembled. "Our school is a century-old prestigious institution. Look at you. With no concrete evidence, you let our school be slandered along with you. If it weren't for your excellent teaching, I would have fired you by now. If you don't resolve this in 3 days, don't bother coming back to work." I vaguely heard the principal scold me. After he hung up, I hurriedly went online to search. I was startled by what I found. She's also a kindergarten homeroom teacher. How can she toy with people's feelings like that? This teacher is so diligent. Teaching during the day, live streaming at night. No wonder she's successful. Stop slandering our Hailey. This old aunt is impersonating her to do bad things. I said it before, our Hailey just graduated high school. She's as pure as a white lotus. How could she do such a thing? I saw these extreme comments and immediately darkened. Slander, it's all slander. It seems someone truly is taking advantage of the situation and wants to harm me. I booked the nearest flight and flew back that night. I took all the voice messages and videos my brother and sister-in-law had sent me, along with numerous scandals from Hailey's school days, and sent them all to her company. Hailey was too young and hadn't developed correct values. She thought she had some fame, and she was bound to offend many people at the management company. As long as I provided the evidence, many people would surely wish for her downfall. Indeed, those who live by social media are very fast. The second day after I sent them, a series of articles appeared online, completely reversing the situation, detailing how Hailey's family tried to make me take the blame for her. The public opinion on the school website also changed rapidly. I had saved the job I had painstakingly worked for over a decade to acquire. Since I had turned against them, I certainly couldn't go home. When I asked a neighbor to help me get my clothes, she told me that Hailey was at home, crying and threatening to jump off the building. It's all because Mom pushed me to this point. You kept forcing me to go to the Spring Festival Gala, kept forcing me to be a star, kept forcing me to make a lot of money. I've been ruined by your greed. Now I only have a high school diploma. Mom, do you know why I didn't take the exam? Because if I did, it would only be a joke. My brother and sister-in-law were so frightened they almost knelt before Hailey, begging her not to die. It made sense. Hailey was now my sister-in-law's cash cow. After this storm passed, Hailey could still make money for her. The management company received the complaint documents and immediately intensified their investigation. Seeing Hailey's numerous scandals, they realized training her further would be a waste, and they only wanted to quickly sever ties with her. Ultimately, to keep Hailey, their cash cow, my brother and sister-in-law had to sell their car and house to pay the large contract breach fee. My sister-in-law was extremely confident. Even with Hailey so utterly ruined, she still believed she could turn the situation around. According to the neighbor, she continued to brainwash Hailey. Being ruined is also a form of fame. Look, you have over 1 million fans now. Infamy is also fame. Then, Mom will take you to the Spring Festival Gala to clear your name. I sneered. Even now, she's still thinking about going to the Spring Festival Gala. What does she think the Spring Festival Gala is? A village stage? This matter had become her personal demon, her obsession. The next time I heard news about Hailey was when she went viral online. Of course, this viral spread was also negative. In the video, several angry wealthy patrons confronted Hailey to reason with her, demanding she choose one of them to marry. I just found it laughable. My sister-in-law alone wanted to stand against several men, each over 1.8 meters tall. My daughter is a future star. Don't you think you're worthy? Isn't it just a few 100,000 yuan you spent? Who dating doesn't spend money? You spend a few 100,000 and have this attitude? What girl would follow you? I've recorded everything. I'll let the whole country see it so all of you will end up unmarried. My sister-in-law's words were like adding fuel to the fire. The leading man glared menacingly at Hailey. Who are you going to choose, after all? Hailey hid behind my sister-in-law, shaking her head frantically. I won't choose anyone. I have no money, only this one life. The men's eyes turned red with fury. The first man picked up a brick from the ground and smashed it hard onto Hailey. With this brick, we're even. I'm willing to spend several 100,000 to buy your life. Consider that I bought you. If you survive, you're lucky. Watching the chaotic scene in the video, no one dared to step forward to stop them. I sighed, turned off my phone, and looked out the window. To my surprise, I saw Hailey standing alone beneath my office building. She looked up at me, and seeing me watching her from the window, she ran upstairs. I looked at her head, wrapped in bandages, her face covered in bruises, and sighed. Things have come to this. Why are you looking for me? She looked directly at me. Auntie, if I hadn't become a star, would I not have encountered so many problems? I couldn't believe her words. Everyone's path is their own choice. Even if you have to crawl, you must finish it. Weren't these things her own choices? In my previous life, I poured all my efforts into helping her, only to be met with her cruel abuse and murder, constantly saying that the path I chose for her had ruined her. In this life, she still thought the same way, only the object of her hatred had changed to her biological mother. Seeing that I still ignored her, she knelt on the ground and kowtowed to me. Auntie, I'm still young. Please help me one more time. Let me repeat a year of school. This year, I've truly tasted enough suffering. I finally understand that society isn't so easy to live in. Please, Auntie, find me a decent path. Seeing her still unwilling to bear the consequences herself, I understood that no matter how much I helped her, in the end, when facing difficulties, she would still bite me. Without hesitation, I called the security guard on duty to drag her away. As she was being pulled away, she furiously questioned me. You're my aunt, and you won't even take care of me. Did my father raise you and send you to school just for you to be an ungrateful wretch? I didn't want to say anything more to her because she was a typical selfish person. I originally thought that my business with them was over, but I didn't expect Hailey to harbor resentment, waiting for an opportunity to take revenge. In recent days, my phone had been constantly receiving numerous unknown harassing calls. I was annoyed beyond endurance. I picked up the phone, and it was just that management company calling. They declared that I had signed an economic contract with the company, and I had to follow the company's arrangements for artists, even demanding that I immediately resign and not affect the company's reputation outside. I directly told them that my niece had signed a contract with them, and she had simply slandered me. I had already sent evidence to their company and told them to check it and stop harassing me. Until someone claiming to be a manager added me on WeChat and sent me a contract. I looked it over and over. The name on the contract was Wang Jane. I angrily called the manager back. "You signed a contract. Isn't it necessary for the actual person to sign it?" He immediately sent a group photo of himself and Hailey. "Excuse me, isn't this you?" In the photo, Hailey bore an 80 to 90% resemblance to me. We had even tried it before. Her face could unlock my phone. I immediately forwarded this photo to Hailey, questioning her intentions. Not long after, she immediately called me. "Now I live like neither human nor ghost. All I have left is the joy of tormenting others. There's no other intention. I'm just bothering you, and making you feel bad makes me happy." I asked her if she knew she would bear legal responsibility for doing so. On the phone, she sneered, "Am I afraid of that?" I recorded the call between me and my niece, sent it to the manager, and warned him not to harass me again in the future. Perhaps due to the recommendation algorithm, even though I had distanced myself from this family, news about them kept appearing online. I saw my sister-in-law, in her desperation to make Hailey famous, truly stooping to any means to defame her. She commented everywhere under other people's posts, asking if Hailey could be a child model, and also said she wasn't easily hurt. If anyone simply replied that child models referred to small children, not someone like Hailey, she would chase after them and curse them. When I scrolled past her, I heard that she had cursed several people to the point where they quit social media. Due to my sister-in-law's bizarre actions, netizens launched a concerted attack. Those nearby directly poured feces into their rented house, while those far away sent razors, threatening and terrorizing my sister-in-law. My brother, driven mad by my sister-in-law's frenzied behavior, directly dragged her downstairs and beat her. According to netizens, my sister-in-law had 3 ribs broken and wouldn't be able to get out of bed for several months. My sister-in-law, lying in her hospital bed, still didn't forget to promote Hailey. Now, at her wits' end to get Hailey onto the New Year's Spring Festival Gala, she had taken out high-interest loans using Hailey's cultivation photos as an idol. Who knew that the 80,000 yuan Spring Festival Gala scheme was a scam? Their family was hounded by all sorts of debt collection calls. Pictures of Hailey as a cultivated idol were plastered everywhere. My brother, enraged, divorced my sister-in-law, hoping to escape the ever-growing debt. Unexpectedly, Hailey finally couldn't endure my sister-in-law's madness. She left a suicide note and jumped into the river as the ice on the river had just melted. Watching the only video Hailey ever posted herself online, I chose to report it to the police. I accused my sister-in-law of murder. She was quickly investigated and arrested. At the trial, I sat in court as the accuser and a witness. After multiple rounds of evidence collection, the truth about Hailey's death was finally revealed. It turned out that my sister-in-law had taken out high-interest loans and was no longer able to repay them. Hailey could no longer bring her any benefits. So my sister-in-law pushed her into the river, creating a fake suicide scene. She originally thought that if Hailey died, she wouldn't have to repay the high-interest loans, but she never expected to face the punishment of the law first. Due to my sister-in-law's intentional murder, the court sentenced her to immediate execution. Outside the courthouse, many anti-fans and journalists gathered. They all applauded my sister-in-law's death. When they learned that Hailey's entire life had been manipulated by my sister-in-law, they all sighed in lament. She wandered online her whole life. Although she had over 1 million fans, she never posted a single video herself. This mother had a terrifying desire for control, wanting to control not only her daughter, but also her sister-in-law. Only 80,000 yuan to get on the Spring Festival Gala? Her pig brain was completely brainwashed by the scammers. Oh, right, that's a public welfare program. These scammers nowadays will think of any reason to cheat money. When a journalist interviewed me, asking how I felt about having such a sister-in-law, I smiled serenely. Now, I just feel that the heavy stone weighing on my heart has finally been lifted. When my sister-in-law was executed, she requested to see my brother one last time. She didn't know that even after divorcing, my brother couldn't escape those debt collectors. He worked tirelessly day and night at a construction site to earn money to pay off the debts. Unexpectedly, he slipped once and fell from a height, dying on the spot. With my great revenge exacted, my heart was at peace, so I went to send off my sister-in-law. When she saw me, she cried and regretted, "I shouldn't have coveted your 80,000 yuan. My original intention was to find an excuse to keep your betrothal gift. I never expected that because of it my family would be ruined." I sat in my car, heard the distant gunshot, started the engine, and drove towards the sun.